Going over to the cultural part of the podcast, you have a woman irate at Gold's Gym because there was a guy, again, in the girls' locker room. Now, I was going to say, cover your ears if you have trouble listening, because the gal in the video is very bombastic, uses a lot of very vulgar language. And so, again, it's not child appropriate. Now, this is posted thanks to Gays Against Groomers, hashtag against GR Groomers, GRMRS. And they say, quote, this brave woman got kicked out of Gold's Gym because she complained about men in the women's locker room. Memberships there start as young as 12 with a parent and 16 alone. Women and girls need single-sex spaces. We stand with you. Hashtag listen to Tish. Her name is Tish Hyman, Hyman. And it's originally credited to Bubble Bath Girl on X. And usually I don't like when people, and Paul Zazupa, I usually don't like when people are so loud and obnoxious and bombastic in public, but I don't think enough people realize how big of an issue this is. So you know what? Actually, I appreciate what she says here. So she looks like she's in the Gold's Gym lobby. She's going to sound off.
Gold's Gym! Men! Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room!
This looks like a really bad Celsius commercial. It's kind of funny because she's holding the can perfectly so you can see the logo exactly prominently in her hand, which obviously is not, but...
And that's why I'm getting kicked out, and I want to make sure the girls know! The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room! No one's saying shit! And I'm fucking done with it! It's fucking stupid! It's dangerous! Me naked in front of a man without my permission. I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room. And that goes.
Yep. And we're pretty violent on social media. It's got 605,000 views and 10,000 likes. And yeah, it's getting especially hard. I was about to say in the women's locker room. That wasn't intended to be a pun, but these days, yeah, some are not appropriate. But it's an instance where for a gal who wants to work out, you kind of, because of the industry consolidation, you kind of have a triopoly. The United States especially, I mean, it's a very cutthroat industry. Usually make majority of their profits in a couple months, usually New Year's resolutions. And because of that, there's basically three major gyms in the United States. You have Gold's Gym, which went bankrupt during, well, they got sold off from TRT Holdings, so they're still technically based in Texas. Well, I'm sorry, Texas, but they're owned by a European gym conglomerate. So you have Gold's Gym, you have LA Fitness, and then you have Planet Fitness. Each of those gyms have the same corporate policy that is, mandated to all the individual stores or gyms, whatever you want to call them. And they say, yeah, guys are allowed to be in women's locker rooms where women and young girls are. And they're allowed to change in front of them and shower in front of them. It's disgusting. They should be put in jail if you're changing in front of a child. It's ridiculous. And these companies are so dedicated to these policies. LA Fitness, they actually have a placard, high quality plastic. Don't get me wrong. They have a colored placard on the doors that say, "This is our policy. You can go wherever door you feel like." This isn't just a 2-cent piece of printer paper that some manager put on there. This is from the corporate office. They invested in high quality plastic signs. That's not a 2-cent item. They put that in all their stores. And in terms of independent gyms, there are a couple mom and pop shops. I'm always a big fan of supporting local businesses. So if you have a local business or a local gym, I highly recommend supporting them. But in a lot of towns, a lot of small towns, Planet Fitness is the only option, which is the joke of a gym in terms of they yell at you if you even try to work out. Can't make noise. Heaven forbid you make noise when you're trying to lift a weight. Ridiculous, obviously. But again, in some towns, there's not an alternative. And I know a lot of folks, you can get a lot of health benefits from doing calisthenics or just, using your own body weight with chin-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and what have you. But if you want to use some of those machines, which, again, there's some good machines there, you're going to want to go to a gym. And they all have these policies now. All of them. And I'm glad she's spelling out because I don't think the average person realizes that most of these gyms have these policies. Like Planet Fitness, they actually just have it like as a paragraph in the training manual. It's not always posted on the door. Planet Fitness also had a commercial that they actually awkwardly, comfortably said to someone, "Hey, oh yeah, you can go in that room if you want." And there was someone that looked like non-binary, and they're like, "Really? Do I?" It was more awkward than in a conversation with me, which is saying something. And yeah, I think the average person, I'm glad that she's yelling because I don't think the average person realizes it. And again, I think it's just disgusting that if you want to change it for a child, Some of these guys are just doing it because it's their kink. That's ridiculous. And I know it's 2025, I'm not supposed to kink shame. Kids are involved? Yeah, that's disgusting. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. You should be, but again, from a legal perspective, all these gyms, it's a privately owned business. They're doing what they want. And the market has not destroyed them yet. They're up, many of them are publicly traded. They're doing well enough. And again, it's not really a lot of opportunity for alternative ways to go to, or places to go to the gym. Now, one of the first comments comes to us thanks to somebody by the name of Palace Lafayette. Says, quote, she is literally every single woman that's sick of this, getting 2.1 thousand likes. Though, again, that being said, the average person who agrees to those policies, on average, liberal white women. Again, most guys are against it. I don't know. I have one liberal friend who is okay with the washing room thingamajig, and that's just the bathroom swapping, whatever. And even he is against the locker room instances where you're changing. But again, I wonder if this person's ratioed. Again, she got 2.1 thousand likes. Ponder Mind says women have been told by men to sit down and shut up since the beginning of time. Now it's men in dresses. Our opinions and needs are second to men. What? Our opinions and needs are second to men. Women, again, has this become a political issue as well, since some states, and again, they're allowing this and encouraging, the bathroom sharing or, swapping. Again, women are the ones that are supporting it on average much more than men. That's why even in the sports, a lot of the women will still mindlessly get up and clap when a man steals a trophy away from a girl. I don't know. Guys don't agree with this stuff. Lisa says men should not be allowed to violate women's private spaces. We have fallen as a society because we care more about men who want to be women than respect actual women. Getting 8 likes. Well, 7. I made it 8. Here for the free napkins, which, not to be too much of a conspiracy theorist. However, napkins are a ripoff. They're just overpriced paper towels, half the size. Personally, I've never bought napkins, and I think I made it enough decades through life. I don't think I ever will. I will die on that hill. It's a useless thing, just an overpriced paper towel. Which again, just use a paper towel or use a washcloth or something like that. That's one of my weird soapbox things. I don't say that on the first dates usually. But nevertheless, someone by the name of Here for the Free Napkins says, quote, I quit Planet Fitness because of their love for troons hanging out in the ladies' locker room. Every time they emailed me to rejoin, I bait with a conversation and then ask if they stop letting trans in the locker room. And every single time, that's when they would stop replying. Getting 12, let's make it 13 likes. That's some fun trolling at the corporate level. Going back to the main comment section, you have Corn Pop, which is a picture of Joe Biden. Come on, man. The locker room's the people and stuff. What? Might be the worst Biden impression here all year, but nevertheless, the attempt was made here. And he has a meme of the guy in the poofy jacket doing the no and the yes hand movement. It says no to the trans flag when it's rearranged, or the Nazi logo. It says yes when it's the rainbow flag, getting 62 likes. Yep. Which again, a lot of people who are gay are, they're vehemently against these types of things. That's why I think he separated the two flags, obviously. Going down more and more. Let's see. Bad Naomi says, circle up the girls. It says, in the wild, female elephants are known as fierce protectors. And when one of their sisters is suffering, they circle up around her, they close in tight, watch guard, and even kick dust around her to mask her. Vulnerable scent from predators. Yet here we are, and yet we are the same. This is who we are and who we are meant to be for each other. Sometimes we're the ones in the middle. Sometimes we're the ones kicking up dust from fierce love. The circle remains, getting 6 likes, which, as this woman, women in the United States are not that protective of each other, I don't think. But let me know in the comments. America Girl says, oh no, not the consequences of her own actions, anything but. And someone by the name of Susie McBears says, quote, stop it already, you MAGA nut. AOC would mop you away in the debates. She would destroy you. Stop exaggerating and lying, dignity girl. Oh, this is the gal who was screaming in the video. She responded, saying, quote, I'm not MAGA anything. I voted for Kamala. So you voted for a political party that encourages these types of things. She also says, quote, I'm a woman who is violated and humiliated and forced to be naked in front of a man in a woman's locker room, and I'm angry about it, and I'm going to do something about it right away. No one can debate my experience. Getting 28 likes. But you just admitted you voted for a political party whose whole ideology is men and women are exactly the same. They can switch genders, is all interchangeable. You vote, and yeah, this is private business. Again, you voted for a political party where, again, the DNC conference, the headquarters, they're all about the transgender agenda. Has this become not just a cultural issue, but a political issue as well? So of course you would vote. You voted for this in a way. You also have the proud conservative saying, quote, the woman is a true victim here, not the delusional predatory man pretending to be a woman, gained 20 likes. Kim says, quote, she said the most important part. This man seen her naked without her permission. That simply means she had no rights, no voice, no consent, no nothing, and they gave it to a man. The opposite of feminism, gave 1.7 thousand likes, which, yeah, kind of funny how Democrats completely erased feminism because they erased the definition of what is a woman. Red Free American says, quote, well, we all know how to show Gold's Gym how we feel, getting 10 likes. Which again, now that's the thing where I don't think this will hurt their sales at all. Because again, there's basically 3 gyms. I think you have Lifetime. If you're a millionaire, you can go to that fancy gym. That's like the 4th. They're not as large as the other chains, but every major competitor gym or competing gym has the same corporate policy. So you can quit Gold's Gym. But again, if you want to go to the 2 most popular alternatives, they have the exact same policies. You also have Little Bees says, quote, listen to Tish because I would sue Gold's Gym and the man, gained 9 likes, which I don't know what kind of, again, that would debate, as it comes to politics and local laws, regulations, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, recently there was a man who was arrested at I believe it was also a Gold's Gym, or no, it was Planet Fitness. However, legally speaking, he was only arrested because he was allegedly taking pictures of women in the locker room, which again is illegal. Again, not enough people click that subscribe button. When I first started the show, I spoke fast on Ben Shapiro more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs, and I had like 3 subscribers, maybe 4. But as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I've become slightly better at speaking. Granted, most people would say it's barely anything, though I would argue, statistically speaking, a lot better at speaking. This fuels my theory. The more people that click that button, the better I'll get at speaking and someday make it through an entire episode perfectly articulately. Which also reminds me, don't just tell your friends, tell your enemies. Your enemies might be so enamored and impressed by your choice in podcast material, they then become your friends. Or they find my face and content so visually visceral and disgusting that they then become greater enemies and it becomes a physical altercation. So maybe I shouldn't recommend it. Either way, make for a funny story. So why not tell your friends and tell your enemies about the show? Now, what I was trying to say was, Lisa Timmons says, quote, Planet Fitness, another anti-woman gym, no judgment zones unless you're a woman. Getting 5 likes. Let's see. Keith says, whatever happened to indecent exposure laws? Getting 15 likes. Good question. Kelly Belau says, peep all the woke, tolerant cowards pretending they didn't notice her. In 19 likes. Jamie Mitchell says, more of this, getting 71 likes. Kiwi says, imagine a 16-year-old girl alone in the locker room with this man walks in. So that was as a man that was in the women's locker room. So it's a guy, a little bit of a beer belly. What is that? With sweatpants, and I forgot what the girls wear. That crop top workout thingamajig. I got 36 likes. Let's see. No More Silence UK says, quote, have you seen this woman trying to access the locker rooms? Is clearly a man, no effort to present as a female, just earrings slapped on and claim identify as a woman. That's all it takes now to demand entry into little girls and women's safe spaces. In 13 likes, which I don't even think you needed to do the earrings. Gold's Gym says basically do whatever you want. You can just say it, as some people have done and go viral on social media for proving the point. Alex Weaver says, it was this moment he realized he screwed up. I wish she could have kicked his ass. Getting 25 likes. There's a screenshot of the dude. I mean, that being said, I'm guessing this guy's more liberal than not. He'll probably get a promotion at work, depending on where he works. A lot of businesses are very much pro these types of ideologies. You also have Say No to Communism. Pretty good profile name. Says, quote, good for her. All the women should be doing the exact same thing. Getting 3 likes. But again, that's the issue. Most women support those things. I think that's why you don't see a lot of women raising a ruckus. Like I said earlier with the sports things. Someone by the name of Judith Rose says, quote, let's remember that not only is consent transferable, meaning only if a woman is okay with it, that doesn't mean all women have to be, but underage girls cannot consent at all. The invasion and blurring of single-sex spaces by trans-identified men is a threat to women and girls, and undermines everything we went through to earn our own public spaces under the social contract that men were not allowed. If gender isn't the same as sex, then stop using your identity to destroy single-sex spaces. Getting 87 likes. How Do You Do Bug says, don't go to Gold's Gym. This is what you have to deal with in the ladies' locker room. Sick. Good for this lady for speaking up. Getting 39 likes. You also have, let's see here. JMJ, Kiri Ellison, Christy Ellison. A more long and awkward cumbersome name than myself, which is saying something. She says, quote, yes, that guy is not gay or he would be stalking the men's locker room to see some naked men. He's a predator, getting 22 likes. Miranda says, the only person with balls in LA, getting 33 likes. And again, depending on where this happens as well, again, being LA, one of those things where local people, if they're somehow become a legal issue, they wouldn't convict this guy. They would say he's brave and brilliant. They'd let him off the hook if any charges were to be brought, I would suspect. But, I mean, I don't think their sales are going to go down. But let me know, maybe they will, but let me know your thoughts because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you click that button. You really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.